Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will make something like this. This picture sent me some, I don't know who sent me this exactly now. It was a Facebook follower or YouTube follower or Vimeo, or, I don't know. But the question was, how would I model something like this? Yeah. It looks not so heavy, and so I want to show you how this works. Yes, let's just start. I just try it, so maybe I make some mistakes and have to go back or something else, and we will see. But I'm sure we can reach result like this. It shall be a product photo and something else, and yeah, okay, let's start. We start with an cylinder, and yeah, the radius we let it be like this and go to 25 height, should be okay, yes. And 36 segments should be okay too. I want to use 2 segments here for one deepening here, for one for one home for a cylinder. And so we get 18 cylinders, so I think 18 is okay. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18. I guess it's 18. Let's say 18. Oops, where are you? Come on. So okay, now we have this cylinder, and I want to make this cylinder editable. So editable. Okay. So I use my edit optimize script. You know it meanwhile, I hope. So if you have seen my tutorials before, or you press C and optimize it later. But just I make it with my script. You find everything in the description, links to the scripts and everything. So next thing is I just want to select these 2 polygons here. Okay. And now I want to make an inner extrude. So I on your keyboard and extrude inner. And let's say 1.5 here. Okay, then D for extrusion. D. And let's make it some about -5. Okay. -5. And again -5. I want to do it again. So, and -5. Okay. And the next thing, I want a shape like a cylinder, so for like a cylinder home. So I go in the edge mode, right click and stitch and sew. Then I go to this edge here. You see it will become white, and when it's white, just drag it to the middle edge here and check. And the same with this edge here. Check. Okay. Looks nice so far. And yes. What's next? What's next? What's next? If we put this now in a subdivision surface, we will get something like this, and that's not really what we want. So let's bevel something. And I want to bevel here this edge here, and so just this deepening here, just the home for the not here for the moment. This we will make later. So just go in the edge mode, UL. So and add selections. So hold your shift key and add the selections here. and here the same. Oops, not this one. Here. Okay. Because I want to work with the with the bevel deformer, I save this selection. So I set selection here. I have it here in my toolbar. If I don't have it in the toolbar, just go to select and here set selection, and we have the selection tag here. Now I select my cylinder, go to the deformers, bevel deformer, hold my shift key and click on it. So now it bevels everything here. 0.3 is okay, but I don't want to bevel everything. I just want to bevel this thing here, this deepening. So I go to my bevel deformer and drag this selection tag in here. And now I have just this selected. And now we will get a small problem, because if we activate now our subdivision surface, we get something like this. Let's delete the edge the selection for a moment. You see it better. We get this thing here, and this we don't need. no, don't need really. It doesn't matter if we go here to solid. It makes it a little better maybe, but it doesn't help. So yeah. So go back to my edge section. And so we have to make, we can use this bevel deformer with the solid here, but we have to change something and to cut a little bit. So I don't want these triangles here. These quads are okay, they are nice, but I don't want these triangles, and I want to cut from here up and from here to the side and end. And so we will get a nice edge here with the subdivision surface. But first, I don't, we need it around here, and I don't want to make each thing for itself, so I would have to select, and the next two polygons make the same things, next two polygons make the same thing, and so we just need this one segment here. So what I do now is I click on the cylinder here and I right click on it and say current state to object. For this cylinder, maybe I need it later again. I make a null object, so just a backup folder. I have here a small script that does nothing more than make a null, name it backup and hide it. And I drag it here in my backup. So, and with this cylinder here, I go into polygon mode, take this here, I just need this one segment here. And when we have this, we can, later on, we can, you see I select just the outer parts here. Now I hit UF on the keyboard. This is fill selection. I go in, you see, I hold the shift key and click on it. So now it's everything selected. Now I press delete. No, not now. First UI for inverted selection. And now we delete it. Now we have our segment. Go in the point mode and you will see we have a lot of unused points here. Just right click and optimize. Okay. Now we have this guy here. Doesn't look better as before. So we have to cut now a little bit. So let's go in the front view and make some cuts here. So K for knife tool. I go to here. And from this point here, I go up, hold your shift key, so we have a vertical line. Okay, the same we do here. Go right, shift key, and we have a horizontal line. Okay, and now we can take this and this edge here and dissolve it. Don't need a. Now we have here quad, 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 quad. Everything is a quad. Now it should look. Normally we should be here with our cut, but it's not really a problem. Go to the point mode. Then right click, weld. Oh, first I have to select them. Then weld it. If you have this problem that you come too close, just go into project settings with Ctrl D and go here to view clipping to small, and now we can go smaller. And here I want to weld it, so we have just one. That doesn't matter, this thing. And if we now activate the subdivision surface, we should have a nice clean rounding here, a nice clean edge, and this is exactly what we want, and nothing like this here, like this mess. Now we do it on every edge, so if you don't want to watch me cutting, so just play forward or something else, or you watch it and you see exactly what I do. So the next one is let's see why we had the wrong thing here. We need the point, this point here. So again we go into K for knife tool. Take this one, go first to go a little out, so go up. Go up, so now hold your shift key so we get a straight line. The same we do here. Shift key. Again, now here we have a cut, but that's no problem. So just select this one and right click and dissolve. And that's done. Looks okay, so let's dissolve this one and this one. Okay, and let's try the subdivision surface so we see if we have some mistakes. No, everything works. Okay, next one will be this one here. So come closer here. K for knife tool, shift key, here the same, K, shift key, whoops, okay, everything looks nice here, so just dissolve these two edges, right click, dissolve, and have a look if everything is okay. Yes, everything is okay. And now the last one. Okay, for the knife tool. Shift key, so we have a straight line. Here the same. Shift key, whoops, and it should work. Everything looks good. Dissolve these two. And watch it. Yes, everything is nice and smooth. Now we have wonderful rounding here and everything is like I want it. Okay, now we clone this thing. Go select our cylinder, go to MoGraph cloner, Alt key and cloner. Okay, here we go to radial in the XZ axis, no radius. You see, we have this, and we said we need 18 cylinders, so 18 clones, and here we go. But if we try this now to put in a subdivision surface, we get something like this. Oops. And this we don't need. So we put this whole thing, this whole cloner, we select the cloner and put it in a connect object. Cloner selected, Alt key, and click on the connect object. And you see, it looks quite better. Now we have some problems here, but this we can solve quite easy. Now we have to convert our connect object here. But before I convert it, I make a copy and put it in my backup. Maybe I need it later. So Control key and drag it in the backup folder. Now disable this here. Now I go to the connect object and edit optimize script. Okay. Nice. The next thing now is I want to bevel this edges here and here down. So UL for a loop selection. Let's see that I get a loop selection here somehow. It looks like we have here problems with the loop selection. Go in the point mode, we'll try something, and I try to delete this one. Oh, it should work, so when everything is together. Yeah, what I forgot, I want to extend here the cut. So good for the backup. Delete this and copy out my backup here, or drag it out, give it later back. So go to my cylinder, no clone, come here. Now I want to make a cut, I want to extend this cut so we have it all around. So okay, for the knife tool, and from here to here, from here to here, and for the eye we make it a little nicer. So take the slide tool, this is MO on the keyboard, MO, in the point mode is okay, and drag this point around the middle here, so something like this. That's just right, you don't have to do it, but it's just that we get a nicer mesh. So something like this. Okay, it looks more professional if you have a nice mesh at the end. So the same we do down here. So okay, from here to here, from here to here, and slide tool MO somewhere here, maybe a little more, so and so. Okay, that should work. And now I drag this connect in a copy of it in my backup folder, make everything and go to the connect object and edit optimize. Okay, now go in the edge mode, UL, try it again. Yeah, now we have here one selection and here the other. Okay, now I take a bevel deformer. So with the connect object here selected, go to the bevel deformer, shift key and click on it. And I want that the bevel deformer just works on these two edges we have here. So this selection tag in here. and let's see why it doesn't do anything. A 0.3 I want here. Why does it do nothing? It works here. We have the wrong selection tag here. I'll make the selection again. So select the selection tag. UL again. Something went wrong here, but doesn't matter. Let's do it again. 1, 2. Okay. Set selection. Okay. Bevel deformer. Selection tag. Now let's see. Now it works. But I don't want these points here. So I go to the bevel deformer in the topology, and go to uniform, and I get this. And now turn on the subdivision, and everything should look nice and smooth. And it does. Very nice. So we have everything round, smooth. Yes. Next step. We need a hole here. We don't need it closed here. So you see it on the original picture here. That's open in the middle. So let's make out of this connect object here. Right click and current state to object. And this connect object, I drag it in my backup folder. Maybe I need it later. Here's the connect object. I don't need this anymore. Now polygon mode. Select this here and this here. Hold your shift key to add selection. Now I for inner extrude. Something like this here. Let's say 10 is too much. Offset of 8 should be okay. Yeah, let's say 8. That should work on the other side too. Okay. And now we want this hole in the middle. I could delete now this thing here. So I could delete this and bridge everything down here. But there is a very simple way to make a hole here. And this is the bridge tool. I go to the connect here and here X-ray, so I see it better. B for the bridge tool, and go to this point here and drag it down. You see the white line here, the white line here to this point, and just release the mouse button and we are done. We have a hole and close. This doesn't matter that we see these houses here, because we don't see it later. So okay. Next thing I need here is I want the bevel here on the inside. I want the same bevel like here. This was 0.3. So UL for loop selection. Here and here, and here don't need a deformer. MS for loop for beveling. Make 0.3 with 3 subdivisions and enter. Okay, that's it. Everything should work. Okay. No problem. No, everything works. Okay, the next thing is we need a tube in here. So UL in the edge mode, UL for loop selection, just to see how big I need my tube. I take this inner diameter or something else. And I see here that the size is 38,3,000. I copy it copy. This is Control C on your keyboard. And this will be the outer radius of our tube we need now. So I go to tube. The outer radius will be this, but this is a diameter here, so we need this this value and divide it by 2. So divide by 2, enter, and now I have exactly the size I need. And here I want 8 centimeters, so I go to the inner radius -8 and a height of 25, and it fits perfect. Okay. Next thing, make this tube. I want to make this tube editable because I need hide this for the moment. Here I need a small rounding, and here I need a bigger rounding. We see it here. Here is a smaller one, and here is a bigger rounding. At least I think so. So I make this tube editable. So edit, optimize, boing. Then edge mode, UL. Here is the bigger rounding, so I UL and here UL, and I want to save this one. I can do it with two bevel deformers, so I would save it now and with the selection tag and make two, but I can imagine how it works. So here I think we are okay with MS, and make here an offset of 2 and 5 subdivisions. Should be okay here. Then again UL for this one and this one. Then MS again. 0.3 here we had here for the small ones, and 3 subdivisions. Okay, so we don't have to work with the bevel deformer. And now I put this connect here. So let's name this outer. This is the outer ring, and this is inner. I put the outer thing here in a null object. So Alt G, and everything what is in the null object now, what I put in the null object will be the subdivision surface will work with everything in this null object now. So if I activate now the subdivision surface, we will see everything works with the subdivision now. Okay, that looks like this now. Nice, I think. So, and the next thing is just we need our cylinders here. This is an easy task. So make a cylinder. The hardest thing is to find the cylinder. Go in the front view, and we try to fit in here a cylinder. So with the cylinder selected, T for scale, and put it in here somehow. Let's say that's okay, we can change it later. Then we take this cylinder and put it in a cloner. With the cloner selected, we go to radial, exit, and we need 18 of these guys, and they are exactly on their place. Maybe here something like this. Okay, we are too high with the cylinders. Let's make the height about 22. It's okay, and the radius 6. maybe 7, and make a little fillet here. 3 and 1 should be nice. A little too high maybe. Oops, this is the wrong one. Yeah, something like that. Let's see what we get. Ah, that looks nice. Okay. For this cylinder we don't need a subdivision surface. So let's take the cloner and the subdivision surface and put it in a null, Alt G. Okay. Now we have everything together. And what's next? What's next? The next thing is, I have seen this is a little, it looks like here the diameter of this side is bigger than the diameter of this side. So let's try to make this. So I want it smaller on the bottom here and bigger here. That should work if we now put the deformer under this null. So if the deformer is under this null, it works with these two guys here. But it will be, let's try it. So I select this null and I go to the deformers and I want an FFD deformer. So to fit the size, I take it and just put it once here under the outer, so I can press fit to parent and I take it out again. But I need it of course a little bigger, so let's make here 30 and here about 120. We need 2 here, and in the point mode I select all points here, this and this one. Okay, and T for scale, and scale it down. And you see, we get almost what we want. Well, almost exactly what we want. Okay. We don't have to see it. Okay, and now we need a second one of this guy. What's no problem. We take this null, the object 1, or just object. It's the object, and we make an instance of this object. So select the object, go to here and instance. Okay. Then we rotate it 180 degrees. E for moving, so go to the side view or front view to see how far we move it. Something like this, okay. And rotate the instance a little bit so it looks more interesting. Okay. And now I put the object and this instance in a null, so Alt G. And now I want this axis. This axis is exactly there where I want it, exactly in the middle here of these two. It's exactly there where I want it. Okay. Now we need this outer ring here, so we want to make this guy here. So let's make a tube. Tube. Make it here, so that's, and the inner radius, something like this. Yeah, it's okay. 55. And here, let's say 6. That should be okay. A height of 50 now. We have 25 twice, so 50. But I see there is something wrong. Hide it for a moment. Yes, we need this. We have here the null point, so the x-axis. I want to have to reset the PSR. So I have here reset PSR, and I press on it, and now we are exact in the middle of the scene. The reset PSR, I don't know now where you find it exactly, but if you hit Shift C, you get this command line here, and if you set reset, and you find it here, and if you double click on it, it makes the same like my reset PSR here. Okay, and now we should be the same place like the tube. You see, now it works perfect. Okay, with this tube we need 2 height segments, 1, 2, okay, and we taken subdivision surface or not? Yes, why not? So we have enough segments for the rounding, so we make it editable. Edit optimize, and now UL, and select this and this. T for scale, and I scale it in the y-axis, something like that. We have a height of 6 in the y. 6 should be okay. Yeah. Now go to the polygon mode, UL again, select this, D for extrude, and extrude it a little. Let's say 3 centimeters, no, -3. Okay. And now everything is nice. So here we need, here on this edge here, the inner edge, we need small edges, so small roundings. Here we need small roundings. Here is everything selected for us. It's nice. So add some selections, UL on the keyboard, Shift key, add this and add this one. Then set selection to save this selection. This is our small rounding, and then UL here and here. So just deselect first and click somewhere. So if the selection tag would be selected, so you just override it now. But we need a second selection tag. So just click somewhere, then go back to your tube. And set selection. We have this is our big selection now, big rounding. Here now I make it with the bevel deformer. I take the bevel deformer here, put the small rounding. Oops, that's here. So put the small rounding here with 0.3. We don't need so, and we copy this bevel deformer and put the big one here with maybe 3 and 5. Okay, and the modeling should be ready. Okay. Now we need something again. We take this null. This is our object here. Yes, the object and the instance, and I want to put this again object and the tube. The tube, I know what it is. Select this and again put it in an null object. So we can now rotate everything together. So the null object should be everywhere except in the middle. Yes, we are exact in the middle, in the center, everywhere. Okay, so take this null object, R, and rotate it by 90 degrees. And go here, and this object here, and rotate this a little bit. Something like that. Okay. Maybe not so much so. Okay, and now we can first activate this subdivision surface here. And we take this under subdivision surface, so this is our tube. Okay. And so it's better for the eye, more comfortable for the eye. I go to so nice. Okay, now we can start with texturing and everything and lighting. Of course, I use my, you know it meanwhile maybe, I use my Nikomedias Scene Rig Pro version. Just drag it in the scene. I know I don't need, I don't want a reflection on the floor, so I can just drag it in. If you want reflection on the floor, you have to and use the Nikomedias Scene Rig. You have to double click the Nikomedias Scene Rig and make a new file, and just then copy everything in the other project, so it's no problem. And then the reflection works. I don't know why the reflection don't work if I drag it in the scene. If I make a new file, a new scene, the reflection, everything works fine on the floor. If not, if I just drag it in, it doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't find the mistake. Some when I will find it, but okay. Now go to my scene rig with the floor down a little bit. So of course I can light and everything without the scene rig. You don't need the scene rig, but it makes it much easier to light and something else. You can try the light version of the scene rig first before you buy it, but I think this 10 euro you will. It will be worth it, I think, but doesn't matter. So we have now this here. We need some materials. We should save this project. I forgot to save it. That's new. So just save it. Let's call it something. Don't know how it's called. A bearing, I think. Cylinder bearing. Cylinder bearing or something else. I don't know. So it doesn't matter. Okay. So we need a new material. So double click in the material manager. Double click on the material, and we need a chrome material. So no color for this, just no specular, just in GGX, Fresnel dielectric, conductor, chromium. that should be chrome. This I don't need, but I don't want it so let's say 10 or maybe 15. This we can tweak later. This is the chrome, and then we need a darker chrome. So see here, this is a chrome, here is a darker chrome, and a black for this thing here, black metal. So copy this chrome, so Control key and drag it to the side. Now chrome dark, make it darker. So for this, just go down with the brightness here maybe. Too much, but we tweak it later, as I said. Okay, and a black metal. So I copy this again, this black. Here I make a dielectric and something like PET. Okay, let's say that's okay for the moment. Now we put it on our things here. So for the tube, yeah, we have to make this tube a single object, so without bevel deformers, because I want to texture the rounding here. So and with the deformers I can't do this. So I take this tube, right click and current state to object, and I put this one in my backup folder maybe if I need it. So okay, and now I don't need this two anymore. I go to my rig and use the camera here, activate it, and whoops, something like that. Okay, should be okay. So now I go to my tube, polygon mode, UL. I need here, I want to make it darker. Then here, UL. Don't forget to hold your shift key. Yeah. Oh, that's the, maybe it's better we go to, for this we go with the wireframe again, so we see it better, and go and disable the thing here. Okay, here UL, oops, shift, and here, here. Okay, and on the other side the same, but here I just take this one and UF for fill selection and fill it. So now we need here a selection tag, so set selection, and now we can make this darker and this brighter, lighter. So chrome, this is the light chrome. Then we need the darker chrome, chrome dark, and this chrome dark gets this selection tag. I do here, I disable the texture in the viewport here, so I see more. So you can do it with NQ on your keyboard. So here we can again activate this. So then we go to our cylinders. This is this one. The inner is a light chrome and the outer is this black guy. That's all. So go back to the camera and just see what we get so far. Now, next we need an HDRI to light the scene. So we need something to reflect and light the scene here. So I go to here and go to my HDRI settings, and in this file slot, let's take just some studio like this here. Just drag it here. And we are done so far. And let's see, go into render settings. With the render settings, you will get this project file to download, so you have everything. You have the render settings and everything in the project file. Low GI is okay here for me. And just let's see what we have now. And that doesn't look so bad for the first test. Here we are black. Why we are black? Background and floor. Yes, use background picture. No. Okay. Oh, that looks quite nice for the first try. I think I don't have to change something here. And that's that's strange. Yeah, I'll let it like this. Okay, so make like this. Maybe with the camera a little up here. So we are in the middle. Okay, I will make a better render here and we will see what we get. So I pause the video and render it. Okay, now we have this here, and I'm really, I would say that's quite nice. It's really okay here. So, and let's go to Photoshop and make it even a little more realistic. So, a little sharper or something else. Go to File, Save As. PSD 16-bit is okay. Okay. Now let's go to Photoshop. Let's bring this file in. So Control J to make a new layer. I want to have my background layer, so I can go back every time I want. Make a smart object out of this. I have a shortcut here, but go right click, use right click and come on, convert to smart object. Okay, and Control Shift A for the camera raw filter. And and here we play with the clarity, of course. Yeah, exposure a little brighter. Okay. If we have here a little noise here in the shadow and we can go to the luminance noise reduction and put it a little up. Okay. Yeah, that should it be normally more. No, it's not more to do here. To do. Yeah. Okay, this is our result, and I think we can really be satisfied with it. So I hope you liked this video, you this tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and yeah, the next tutorial will come as soon as I can. I'm really sorry that I cannot make more. I want to try at least to make one tutorial a week, but I'm so busy at the moment. But after this month, it's getting more quiet, and then I can do more. But I do my best, believe me. And yeah, as I said, you will find every link in the description. You need the project file in the description. If you want, you have a link in the description which leads you to a donation and something else. So yes, and yeah, and if you're interested in the Nikomedias Scene Rig Pro, download the Lite version, play with the Lite version a little bit, and then you will see or watch the videos here on YouTube or Vimeo about the Scene Rig, and you will see what you can do with it. It's a lot. And yeah, I wish you a nice day. Here it's evening, it's 9:30 p.m. here. And yeah, have a nice day, have a nice life, much fun with this video, much success, and now bye bye, tschüss und baba.